Welcome back to the Divorce Playbook podcast. Do you like what I did there? You're back.
Back.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you're not gone yet, so I guess you're not back.
Right.
How you
You can
feeling?
use that joke again. You can use that joke again when I actually get back from surgery.
Oh, I'll do the Welcome Back Cotter theme song. That'll be the theme.
There we go. I am I'm heavily medicated. So I'm feeling all right now.
This is gonna be a dopey show. You're on drugs and I'm on 30 minutes of sleep.
Sweet.
35.
Let's see who's great. Let's see who's I would imagine you're gonna be the bigger idiot. So
I imagine.
Yeah.
But a lot of interesting things.
I might be a little slower. That's it.
A lot of interesting things happened this weekend.
Yes.
And one of those things pertains to our theme song. You will not know this. And by the way, if anyone out there knows this before I say what it is, I don't care where you are in the country, I will buy you a cup of coffee. If I have to send you a gift card to your coffee shop, if you get this without looking it up, I'll probably marry you.
I never know. Is this the Chili Peppers?
Oh my God, please.
Dang it. It's got bass. Oh, we're getting
I'll
really...
let it kick into the words because if there's any old 90s punk fans who listen to us, just why haven't you reached out to me yet?
How long before the words start?
Best friends. It's coming up right now. I used to listen to this song. This was my wake-up song in my CD player for 15 years. This song. And I'll tell you why. This is you wake up to this, right?
Thanks. It's all making sense now.
Oh, why my brain is how it is?
Yeah.
Come on, you can't not get excited when you hear this.
Dude.
I mean, you're up.
I have no idea what they're saying. They're just yelling.
Listen to the words you can hear. This is hot water music. And the song is called Radio Free Gainesville.
Radio Free Gainesville?
Radio Free Gainesville. They are one of the best punk bands of the 90s, without question. Anyone who wants to fight me on that, please do. They're from Gainesville, Florida.
Well, that is interesting, and so that was a headache-inducing lead-in into some big news from this weekend. We'll see what happens, but Jack has gotten into his top 3 colleges, and I do believe we'll see what's going to happen, but I think that he will ultimately bring his talents down to Florida at some point. We'll see where in Florida. I don't know yet, but that's it's very exciting, and I literally, for everyone out there who's listening and is a parent, and if you're not there yet, but eventually you're putting in a lot of hard work and the days seem long, the moment that one of your children gets accepted into their top school, their top 2 schools, top 3 schools, whatever it may be, top moment, certainly top 3 moment, if not a top moment in my life for sure.
Oh, it's amazing. I'm so proud of him and everything. It's just incredible. I'm so happy for him. And honestly for you, because it sounds like you might be moving to Florida in a couple of years. So, and congratulations to Florida, because apparently, you're going to hit the scene at some point, ladies.
Right. Well, let's hope that maybe I split time, but yes, I still have Luke.
Well, yeah.
And I still need to make sure he's
a couple of years. There's a lot to get to, obviously.
Yes, but yes, that's all very positive. So in a week that was not necessarily the most positive for me, that was it just goes to show you that if things aren't going your way, keep plugging through and something will maybe pop up that sends you in a different direction.
That's an interesting thing, and then maybe we can go there. We've been doing a lot of posts for people who don't necessarily follow us on social media, but listen to the show directly, or maybe follow us just on Facebook, but not on Instagram. I know that's a lot of people. We have been putting up video clips on both, but we've also put up these little graphics on Instagram that lead into some of our videos, and they've been fun to do. And so I want to talk about one of the very thoughtful and lengthy comments that we got on one of those today, Scott. And I know you responded to it on Instagram, but I thought it'd be good for us to sort of talk about it here because it pertains to stuff that happened to me this week too. But it's interesting that you said that, as bad as the week can get, or however you just worded it, one thing can change it around. And I think that happened sort of to me. Like I had the kids this weekend as well. And like, so whenever I have the kids, it's a lot of fun. Max did 2 Instagram or not Instagram, my gosh, YouTube videos. He does Minecraft. So he made 2 videos and they were great, by the way. I mean, he's like, if you want to go, just like look up Max on YouTube. He's like, if you like Minecraft, this kid knows what he's talking about. It's like amazing. He's 10 years old and he's like, he should be he should have a show like better than ours. It already is. So that's fun. And just doing things with the kids sort of resets. I know it's been a couple of like up and down weeks for me with a lot of stuff going on. I thankfully did not get ghosted this weekend.
Hey, all right. That's like that breaks a streak for you, right?
And I will say this: the reason I got a half hour sleep is because I hung out with someone who's a very important person to me, actually, who lives down the shore in New Jersey, and they do not live in this town, but they live in the town next to it, and it pertains to last week. So this is put the explicit up for if you're listening with your kids. What the hell are you doing? Why are you listening with your kids? But let me just say this: Ocean City, Maryland. Ocean, yeah, well, don't be listening to this, but drop the kids off at school and then put us on. If you've listened to the show over the last 3 or 4 episodes, Ocean City, Maryland can suck Ocean City, New Jersey's dick. I am never going back to Ocean City, Maryland, ever.
It has nothing to do with Ocean City, Maryland, because of one person. But Ocean City, Maryland is, actually the Delaware beaches are quite nice.
It's the lesser of the Ocean Cities, and I will take that to my grave now. And Ocean City, New Jersey, by the way, for people who don't live in New Jersey, that's a dry town. There's nothing to do.
but there's a liquor store right over the bridge, like as you're coming in, that everyone goes to. So,
which, by the by, I was at yesterday. Maybe still today. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, nice, good.
Yeah.
Well, so good for you, and good for the New Jersey beaches. Shout out.
Right, shout out to the New Jersey beaches, tourism. That's who we need to have a sponsor. I mean, let's get that. Let's get that rolling.
I don't think they need much help, from last summer and probably this summer. I think that there's a lot of people that are not getting on planes, so they'll, in the greater New Jersey, Pennsylvania, area, will be driving down the shore.
Fair enough. All right, so that is sort of, I guess, both of our weeks ended on a good note. Got to be around people that we care about. Got to have good things happen, and hopefully everyone who's listening, that was the case for you as well, obviously. But I want to get to this comment that we had, which is not a bad comment. It sounds like I'm setting up like some kind of like bad comment. Although, have you noticed that a lot of the comments that are negative are about me? I love that. It's amazing.
Yes, I have noticed. I would love for me not to have to respond, but it's kind of fun that I respond to most of the stuff and you don't, and then I disagree with people. They're like, Dan, like you suck, or Dan, stop being such a wuss.
I looked, totally. I couldn't find them. I respond to people on Instagram, usually with direct message or whatever.
No, put it in the thread, dude. Come on.
Okay, fine. If you notice though, the people who are specifically saying stuff about me are people who I've matched with and never hung out with.
Well, I don't. Right. So I don't know that part, which I guess is why I'm responding to a lot. Like I'm just assuming that they're just fans. And so maybe they're not such fans and they think you're an idiot.
I'm going to say this because I have the platform. I didn't realize this until I was reading our comments this weekend with someone else. But I'll say, like, sometimes you want a username and the username is taken. So you have to throw an underscore in there or a dot or whatever.
Or a number.
Sometimes you have to throw a number in. I don't care how old you are. If you're an adult and the number at the end of your like username is 69, like who are you?
Wait, somebody made a comment on our social that the username ended in 69. I didn't notice that.
Oh yeah. I should probably beep this out because she's gonna like sue us, but like, yeah, Glitter Girl 69.
Glitter Girl?
Underscore. There's an underscore in between those if anyone wants to look. She is no fan of me. If you go onto our Instagram.
Interesting.
Oops.
Well,
yeah, she
thank you for your comments anyway. We don't need just comments. We don't need just comments from fans that love Dan. We equally appreciate the comments from people that do not like Dan.
Yeah, well, and that's more of them. But we did put out something the other day that was the little graphic was just like one of those weeds that you blow, like like the what
dandelion.
Is that the dandelion?
an expired dandelion that has little white things that all of a sudden it fills the air and everyone starts sneezing, but they look kind of cool. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, when it's the yellow like a sunflowery dandelion, right, and then they turn into this
Yeah.
monster. Okay.
Yeah.
So
That's not a
what we
monster. Yeah.
this was the quote that we said. It's not about getting more matches. No one needs more. What you need is to weed out the people who have no interest in you, and it's a weed. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a pretty weed.
So one of our best followers and most interactive followers lately has something in common with us. It's divorced mom dating. It's actually when we talked about the dashes dots, it's divorced dot mom dot dating. If people are looking on Instagram, you can go onto our posts. They've responded to quite a few.
Yeah.
And I know you wrote back to this. So go ahead.
Yeah. And I'm just saying, and they're good. So if you're in this zone and you like the stuff we do, please follow them too. Give them a little shout
So
out.
this is the response that they sent to that. It's a little lengthy, but then I want you to respond to that because I know you wrote back, and this is the first time that I'm going to have a chance to respond to this. But it's really interesting, and I had a conversation with people over the weekend about some of this. So the response was, I definitely agree that you should get very specific about yourself, your interests, and the type of relationship you're after. From my experience, the truth is that most will likely not read it anyway before they match with you, but the information is there in hopes that they will. When I was using dating apps, so I'm assuming whoever runs this, Scott, is no longer single. Good for you. When I was using dating apps, I tended towards a lengthy profile and got a few people who messaged me just to tell me that my profile is too long. I thought that was great because it told me right off the bat, that they're exactly the kind of men in whom I would not be interested anyway. And then I assume she goes on to say, at one point in my profiles, I even talked about what kind of man interests me. And I found that a lot of men use that just to manufacture a tale about themselves that would probably get me interested in meeting up in person. I was very disappointed a number of times by figuring out that that's exactly what they had done. And they were, in fact, not very much at all the type of man I described. Can we start with the first part and then go to that second part? Because the second part's where I have first of all, thank you for that comment. I mean, it's amazingly thoughtful and exactly what we talk about too. But there is the pitfall of, be specific, but know what's going to happen. So let's talk about the first part. Have you ever complained that someone's profile is too long?
No. No, not at all. I mean, I think that, we talk about this and as part of my response, and we can talk about it, that we have research, like we've done research on this too. And I think she was very accurate in saying that people that would complain that your profile is too long are not the people for you. If you create a long profile and detailed, they're not the people for you. Like they're,
Right.
If you're a Facebook person and they only want to read Twitter, then they should be finding Twitter people and a certain amount of characters and be done. You know what I mean? Because that's a
Interesting way to put it, but
mental, like a
Yes.
mental state. So I don't think that's, I don't think you could ever write too much. I do think, again, it's sort of like a fine line of how much you write, because you obviously want to write enough to get the right people interested. And as I talk about, like, then get them off app, so then you can dive into some more details. But sometimes you don't know where that balance is. So sometimes, in order to really weed out the people that might just like the fact that you like a certain band and a certain type of food, it's not enough. So you got to go a little bit deeper on the profile. But how deep you want to go is up to you. But at the end of the day, again, we're all looking for something, and you need to focus on this. Most people, not all, are ultimately looking for one person. So all you need to do is get that one person. So the fact that you're ruling people out and all that is different. And I won't talk about the second part yet because I have strong feelings.
I know your thoughts on that. But so to that first part, the one thing I will say, and again, I am someone who it takes 1,000 words to say hello. When I remember I had a job when I first started at Bleacher Report, they were like, we don't write things that are more than 750 words. And I like spit out my water. I'm like, well, that's changing now. And they're like, I was like, I don't write things less than 1,500 words. And I'm like talking about like sports things that just happen. I'll bang that out in like 30 minutes. And it's just, that's just how I talk and how I write. So to me, there's no such thing as I go to the character limit. Like I think, what do we do? I think, Tinder allows you 300 credits 300 characters in your bio. And I think Bumble affords you 500. I believe that's what it is at the top of my head. I use 299 and then get a period at the end. I mean, I am so I am not, if you're looking for someone in earnest, if you're really looking for someone And even, by the way, if it's someone just for tonight or if it's someone for the
Yeah.
next 10 years, that doesn't matter. If
Yeah.
you're looking for someone,
Yeah.
you're not going to spend 3 minutes to read about them. Like,
I totally
oh,
agree.
your bio's too long. You want to hang out with me? You want to drive a half hour or an hour to where I live to go out to dinner or to go to get a drink with me, sit across from me, but you won't spend 3 minutes reading what I think you should know about me? Who the hell does that? Like, I have ADHD and I'm like, no, read the bio, guys. Like, this is crazy to me. It doesn't, my brain can't compute.
Yeah. Well, uh, I think it goes back to what we talk about quite a bit. One part gamification and two parts, I'll say laziness in some respects, but I don't want to say it's all laziness. I actually think it's you'll because you are more of a wordsmith than I am. I'm trying to figure out the word that it's people feeling like they have to get into it, but don't really want to get into it. So they feel like if they do a crappy job with their
Right,
profile
right.
and don't say a lot, that they're at least can say to their friends like, yeah, I'm on online dating, but like I don't really
But
want
I
to
don't really
online
take it
date.
seriously.
Right. So they almost like set themselves up for failure in that
Yeah.
sense, but still like will peruse and like maybe they want to just look and not be looked at, if that makes sense. So they
I
do a
think what they
quick
do, and
profile.
yeah, I think what, sorry to cut you off. I think what people do, and this happens to me a lot, is that people who don't put their own picture up try to match with you in hopes that, like, they know that they'll like you and they hope that you'll take a flyer on them and fish. And now, just because I like to talk to people and I like to get the mindset of why, um, but I do feel like I'll say, if, for anyone out there, like, if you don't have a photo or a lot of information, I'm going to match with you automatically. If you match with me, like, if I see someone online, I'm not just going to match with them. But if they've tried to match with me, I'm saying yes, because I want to know who they are. Hit or miss, mostly miss. But to your point, they're doing that because they don't want the rejection. That when you put your face out there and you
Yeah.
put your information out there and you put everything about you and you're very vulnerable and someone doesn't like you that you want to like you, it hurts. And we all go through that.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's really an interesting part of the dating experience. And I think that's what we're talking about with this specific post, that it's not about, you have to go into this with the right frame of mind. And I think that this can go for most people, if not everyone, that you have to go into it with the right frame of mind, that don't paint a story in your head of what you think someone's like, because most people unfortunately are not
Yeah.
how they depict themselves, because it's pretty easy to depict yourself in whatever way you really want with a couple of good pictures, or a couple of like snarky, funny sort of, whatever,
Right.
bullets or points. And I think it is easy to kind of have this, whatever, Romeo and Juliet kind of, thought process of, is that not
Oh,
right?
they ended up dead. I don't think anyone online wants to
Well,
have a
no, you're
Romeo and
taking it
Juliet
you're
situation
taking it too
here.
far. I'm thinking about like the romanticizing of things
No one
before they.
poisoned my brother.
Right. Thank you.
Well, I guess you
I
would
do.
poison yourself. I guess you would. But
N-
anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, well, good thing I'm working on my living will and stuff before I go into the hospital. So,
For real. Yeah.
in any case, I think when you go into this, like again, you have to dig in. And what's really interesting about this part of it, Dan, is that, um, you know, like the world is sort of in a rush, right? Just in general, like everything moves fast. Like we're now in this time where just everything moves so much faster. And right now I've been forced, because of my health and just my surgery and everything, I've been forced to kind of slow things down. And that, and you know what? Like it's very unusual for me, because I move very, very fast and this way my life's gone. But to actually slow things down and to get to know somebody and to, talk to them maybe longer than you ever would have thought, to again really kind of dig in and do whatever. In some respects, it's kind of nice. So I know that for a lot of people, the end result is like, hey, I want to get together and like get laid and do
Sure.
whatever the goal is on a dating app. But for me, I've seen this, and I'm not telling anyone to go get surgery or to hurt yourself, intentionally to do this. But it's okay to slow things
Ridiculously. Yeah.
down a little bit, right? It's okay to slow things down. And I know I talk about that you need a little bit of momentum. Slowing things down doesn't mean like ghosting people on these sites. It means just like, if you want to do that and you want to get to know people a little more, you can take some time and
Can I
engage
ask
and
you?
see where that's going. Yeah.
Can I ask you, and you don't have to give this away, obviously, and we didn't talk about this beforehand, so I apologize if I'm putting you on the spot. But given that you can't, I mean, can't is a tough, but like you don't have the ability to go out on a date and be at full strength, so to speak. You're not going to sit in a restaurant or walk,
I can't.
you know,
No, I actually
3 miles.
can't.
Right. I know what I'm saying.
Correct. Yeah.
So have you taken this opportunity to go like and just shut down a little bit and say like I'm just going to focus on myself, or have you been talking to people doing FaceTime? Like, are you taking advantage of the fact that you can say to this person, like, I can't meet you in person for a while, so we're going to have to text back and forth, and you're getting to know people right now? Or are you just
Yeah.
like taking a break from it because you're not available? So if you match with somebody, it's like, we're going to have to wait anyway.
No, I don't want to take a break. I think that this is it's an important time. I do not to confuse the question. I think this is an important time for me because I am going through this and I feel pretty alone. And that's the negative part of it, that you're
Mhm.
going to hospital and you're getting surgery and I have my ex driving me. So, that's very nice of her to do that. But it was the kind of thing where some
I could
people were
come up
saying
and
to me about
drive you.
like,
Do you want me to come up
like
and drive you? I mean,
no, I
are you
appreciate that,
sure?
but it's no, I really appreciate it, but it's
All right.
20 minutes away from here, so I do
I'm just
appreciate
saying.
that.
I mean,
No, that's very nice of you. But some people were asking, they were like, well, who's gonna reach out to you to know that surgery is okay, like that it was successful and that you're okay and everything? And I was like, I I don't know. Like, A, it's COVID time still, and you can't have anyone in the hospital anyway.
yeah.
So I don't know about that. But B, I'm gonna be kind of like knocked out. So I actually may have to give a list of people to contact to mom because she's like my main
Ooh, old
contact.
phone tree.
Right, like a phone tree. I'm gonna have to like set it up and everything.
Dude,
But to your
why, but I have access to your Facebook page, so I can just post something as you.
yeah, actually, it's interesting. I was thinking about that when I was not sleeping last night, and I was like, you know what, maybe I should just get the word out through social and
Yeah.
have you throw something out there that like a success or I'm gonna be doing the show by myself for a while.
Oh yeah. That's what I'll put on your. I'll just type and then just leave it there for 6 hours. That'll be fun. Let's see. Let's see the
Right,
reactions to that post.
right. Well, it'll
I don't know
be
if
it'll
Glitter
be
Girl
shared.
69 is going to be so mean to us then.
Right. Well, she's mean to you, but
Oh
so
yeah,
but
she doesn't
to,
want
to
your back to be broken.
right, but to your point, no, I don't want to be alone. I am, and that's okay. Like I'm very independent, obviously, and I can figure it out. But I am taking this time, to your question, to get to know and explore the different parts of the relationship, the ones that where I physically can't go out. It's hard anyway, but I can't physically go out. I can barely sit here for the show and deal with this, and I'm groggy and everything else. So I would not be a great date at this point. But it's right now, yeah, it's about phone conversations, FaceTime, like that stuff, and it's fun and it's interesting, and it really does give you a different perspective on it when you can't do it. I know for people that can go out, you won't necessarily be thinking this way, but for me, I can't. So I in the right frame of mind, and it's actually been really nice.
So to that point, before we get to the second half of that comment, because I definitely want to get to that, I matched with someone this weekend, and it was very interesting because we seemed to hit it off pretty well. And I said, what's your childcare situation? Where her kids are a little bit older than mine, but we actually are free the same days, which very rarely happens. Sometimes you have the same weekends, but
Right.
like to have the same days during the week too is like,
Uh,
and so
Jackpot.
she was excited about that, which is good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you know how I am, like instant gratification. It's like, wait, so you're free on Monday? Let's hang out on Monday. And she's like, well, I have to work Monday, but I have a rule that I have to talk to someone for a week before I'll go out with them.
Respect.
Well, yeah. And I was like, well, what's your logic on that? Like, that's fine. Whatever. I mean,
Right.
it's a week. It's not like it's a year. Um,
Right.
and she's like, you'd be surprised at what you can learn about people in a week. And then she told me, I'll spare you some of the stories, but she told me some of the stories of like things that, like just a lot of people to go back to the comment, but a lot of people are very duplicitous, and a lot of people say things in their profile or say things right away and then get found out a little bit over the course of like a couple of days.
Totally.
Some people, as you know, if you don't respond for a day or two, maybe you're having back surgery and didn't tell the people online because it's none of their business. And so if you start getting messages on Wednesday and Thursday like, oh, I guess you ghosted me, You'd be like, no, I was like literally being cut open while you were bitching me out. Thanks. Like that's going to happen to you. Somebody you're
Yeah.
not going to tell
No,
that's going to be
that's
like, oh, great. I guess you're too important for me. You're like, yeah, I actually
yeah.
am right now.
That I don't want to interrupt your comment, but I think that's so real. Um, and it's so true. And it's why, you know, I almost think it's worthy of posting this again. And I say it on the show sometimes that you really,
Yeah.
really never know what anyone else has got going on.
Can
You
we can
just
we
don't.
take a picture of the MRI that you got and post that and then put that next to it? I think we should do that.
It that it's interesting if I could get a picture of that. Actually, I mean, I've seen it and it's rough,
I'm sure you can get it. Yeah,
with
you
like
got to
the
get that
little
for us.
bone sticking into my nerve. Yeah, that would be actually pretty cool, and that's true. And I'm not saying that everyone's as dire a situation as mine, but it doesn't matter. Like like your dog could have shit on the carpet. Your kid could have been up at night. You could just be, sleep
Sure.
deprived. Like things happen, and you have to be okay with that or not. And if you're not, then you are who you are, and you just want things to move fast, and you're just gonna roll with it, and you're gonna cut off some potentially good people
Yeah.
because you jump to conclusions again because you get something in your mind that isn't what reality is, but you just shut people down or shut people off, and you don't know what they have going on.
So I tried to make plans with this woman for next week, and she's like, "Oh, you're confident?" And I was like, "Well, first of all, I can survive a week." I was like, but I said, I was like, I can survive a week. I'm very good at like texting people and talking to people, whatever. And she seems to have like a playful demeanor to her, so that'll be fun. And then I was like, after a week, that's when the wheels fall off. So like, I can get to a week, and she's like, "What does that mean?" I was like, "You'll find out." So,
Ay. This is,
but
by the way, this is very much so another How I Met Your Mother reference of you being Barney Stinson, where I felt like when you just said that, I pictured him in my mind, and when she said a week and it was like her sort of role, I was like, challenge accepted.
challenge accepted. Yeah, challenge accepted. Here you go. For people who maybe didn't know that we got new props for the set.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I want to read you something. She sent me a site that she was on, and I was actually looking at, not with her, but she sent it to me, and it's very interesting, people's profiles. And it was profiles that she had seen. I don't know if she saw this one in particular, but I saw this one. So I want to read this to you. I was reading it last night. I told you when I was hanging out with somebody and we were looking this over. And I just want to read this. It's not super long. And then I want to talk for a second about this. Okay. I'm going to leave out some of the information just to protect this person's. My
Yeah,
name is
please.
Ricardo. I'm 35 years old. He's from Compton, California. I love R&B music, art, poetry, creativity, and to be able to witness others express themselves. I've learned to appreciate the little things in life and the beauties hidden in the most unexpected places, the things I was once blind to. If I were out, I would love to experience new places, people, cultures, foods, grow and evolve with those I may cross paths with. I believe we are all teachers and students. We teach and learn, from one another. Currently, I'm enrolled in college and attending self-help classes, all in an effort not only to further my education, but to attain insight, awareness, and emotional intelligence. I'm looking for someone who is mature, independent, and knows what she wants in life, someone who can appreciate the person I am now and further help me grow. I want to build friendships off of these principles. I believe in God, and I know that I am no saint, but I try to be the best person I can. I do my best not to judge, as we all make mistakes, and I know that our mistakes do not define us. So if I interest you and you would like to know more, I would love to hear from you. That's a damn well written profile.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, I would, so well written. I'm wondering if that was like a profile that's been used multiple times, but
No,
that's no, I'm saying like who knows if somebody got it and then was like, oh, that'll score me a lot of. And I'm not saying I hope that that's super genuine, and that Ricardo really wrote that, and I hope he's getting a lot of great matches because I'm sure a lot of women will gravitate, if he's looking for women, will gravitate to that. That was phenomenal.
well written.
Yeah.
Some of Ricardo's vitals, whatever, 6 feet, blah, 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 blah. Ricardo was serving 25 years to life for homicide and attempted homicide. This was a website that has inmates who are looking for pen pals.
Yikes.
And this woman said that she likes to volunteer and she was looking at something. And apparently she watched a video like, here's ways you can volunteer during COVID when you can't be one-on-one with people. And she thought like, maybe a pen pal situation. Now, it turns out that this site in particular, I'm not going to give the address, but this site, most of the people on there, and I looked through a bunch of them, a couple of people in New Jersey that I do not want to have anything to do with. Glad to see one guy in there wearing a Rutgers football jersey. Of course, it was a Ray Rice jersey, so that tells you as much as you need to know. But nonetheless, not this guy. This is a site where most of the guys there are looking for not just pen pals, they're looking for like women to fall for them and you know and eventually be with them when they get out, if and when.
Right. Which happens.
Oh, no, definitely. From what I gathered, the woman who wants to wait a week to even meet someone in person, this is not what she was looking for. She just wants to like help someone, you know, be a nice person.
Yeah.
But I read that last night and I didn't know when I clicked on it. I was just like just randomly clicking on people's profiles. And I was like, let me see what this guy is, 35, whatever. That guy is maybe not getting out. Obviously did something when he was younger. He's 35. He was sentenced in 2006. So that's what, 15 years ago. So he's 20 years old. Something happened. He's grown from that. He's learned from it. He's in college. He's making himself a better person. And he put a very thoughtful essay about himself out there for people. Why the hell can't these assholes on dating sites who have everything going for them give a little bit something close to that? Like, put some effort in. This guy's putting in effort and he's never going to see you. He's just looking for a letter from you. Maybe a conjugal if he's allowed to even get them at some point. I'm not being flippant about it. I mean, he's 23 to life, Scott. I mean, like, come on.
Agree. Yeah, no, I think that's, wow. I didn't know that was coming and I didn't expect that. And so this is where you say, again, to the point of you never know what anyone else got going on. That's the ultimate, like, you know, this is someone who he could be have done something terrible. We have no idea, but
this guy,
you know, yeah, I don't know what he did.
I just told you, homicide and attempted homicide. He did something terrible.
No, I'm saying like he did something terrible.
It's terrible.
Like I don't know exactly what he did, but you know.
Well, I don't want to know. I just think that now he's you know on a good path. I don't know if it's the right one, but it's a different path than he was on previous.
But I think this is the reason, to your point, and I think you're making a point that, you know, anybody should take some time. You don't have to have these rules, right? So take some time and write something that's worthwhile. Don't waste your time and everybody else's time. Like even if you're just looking to hook up tonight, take a little bit of time and make it thoughtful so that you can get the best action tonight.
Now, having said that, this website does a very good job. It takes a couple of clicks if you're on it, especially on the mobile. It's a little hard to navigate, but then you realize like they put on there for each person their statement, their height, weight, you know, religion, all that stuff, whatever they want to put in there, just like a dating profile. And then they have their contact information, how you could either write to them or email them. Some of the people can email back, some of them can't. So they ask for you to send your address. Well, again, there's some protections you need to take. But then on every single person on this website, it says their sentence information. Because when you read that, and I the only word, Scott, I glossed over, and I don't know if where it says I've been down 14 years. Now, I didn't know if that would have tipped it off. And also when I did say this part when he said if I were out. Now, if you heard that and you thought like out, he might be the COVID. Like that's what I thought.
That's what I thought. Well, yeah, when you were reading it, that's actually what I thought. I was like,
right.
When I was listening to it at first, and you said if I were out, I was like, yeah, you know, it's been a rough year. It's been rougher for different kind of roughness for that guy, I'm sure.
Point being, this website does give you very important information about these people before you decide to interact with them.
Right.
That you don't get on dating sites. Now, if you were to read just that profile without the background information, as you said, this guy's got his shit together. He's on a good path. He realized that he's matured. He's bettering himself. He's going to college. That's exactly what, going back to this divorced mom dating, says in the second half of what she wrote. And she says, again, I'll just read part of it. I was disappointed a number of times by figuring out that's exactly what these people had done. Made themselves look like what she said she wanted.
Right.
And in fact, they were nothing like that at all. Now, I'm not saying he's not like what he said, but there is vital information that is being omitted by all of us. I leave out vital information, I'm sure, or to
Yeah.
someone. What someone wants to know something about me that I'm not sharing, whether it's on purpose or
Yeah.
not. But everyone does that.
Well, it's the thrill of the chase part too, where it's like if somebody is going to be, and I've certainly gotten this a lot over time, where because I am, like you, I write a lot and I go into some great detail. I'll always have people reach out, and I write about things that not normal people would write about. I write about my Billy Joel story, which again we still haven't ever gotten to, but hang out with Billy Joel in Italy, and
But that's
that's
when
sort
you
of.
said that you were going to the bathroom in sophomore year of high school, and that you decided to sing songs all day. And then one of the teachers asked where you were, and you said, "I'm waiting here in Allentown," because your teacher's last name was Allen.
It's pretty good, right?
How do I remember that?
I
I
don't know
thought
how
that
you
was your
remember
Billy
that.
Joel story.
No, my Billy Joel story was way better. But regardless, so I mentioned like little details like that. And so within that, and I understand this part of the thrill of the chase and the gamification again that I talk about, that a lot of people will say, like, oh, I love Billy Joel, or Billy Joel was my first concert, or like trying to put their and like trying to answer what I'm saying. And I'm not really
They're
asking a
trying to
question. I'm just
connect to you
telling,
based on what you're
right.
saying. Yeah, obviously.
Right,
Yeah.
because if I tell a story about Billy Joel, you would assume that I love Billy Joel, which I do, but
Mhm.
I think that you have to be careful about some of that stuff, and I think that's the comment, to the point of the comment, that when you're in this position, you put a lot of stuff out there, it does become a little bit easier for somebody to play off that. And I don't really actually, I gotta be honest, I don't know what catfishing really means still, but we don't have to go into that. I really don't know what it means, because you use that a lot, and I still every time you say it, I'm like, all right, I don't
You
know
don't know
if
the show
people get
Catfish?
catfished.
Like it's like a very popular television program.
Current?
It's been on for like 15 years. Yeah, like the MTV
No,
Catfish. Like it was like a huge thing.
I don't know it. Yeah.
Nutshell, it's somebody who's pretending to be someone else. There's someone who makes a fake persona just to,
Oh, well, so
get
that
money
is a little
from
bit of
you or yeah.
catfishing then. Yeah. So in dating, maybe that is kind of catfishing, that you're pretending to be someone that you might not be because you're trying to,
Well, you never meet with them
connect.
in person, but yeah, yeah.
Right. So right. Okay. So that's different. But I think that that's the that's sort of the challenge of writing a more thorough profile, is that you'll get people who will pick up that. And by the way, they might be good people. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, that you want to try and be connecting to
Right,
somebody.
right.
And if you can find something that you genuinely like that they wrote about, you should try and do that. That's not what she was saying though in her comments. She was saying that she was very
No.
disappointed that some people would take what she wrote and make themselves seem to be someone that they're not, so that they could connect with her.
What? So two things about this. One, and I don't know, maybe we'll clip this part up because this is interesting. Just the back and forth for advice purposes only. I spoke to someone last week about this. If you're on one of the dating apps that has prompts that you can write things, my suggestion, just from my personal experience, and you might disagree with this, is if you have three prompts, I would write one thing about myself. I would write one thing about what I'm looking for. That could also be about myself, but to your point, like here are the thing, you'll get along with me if whatever. And
Yeah.
then one that is like a call out or a some way to interact with the other person, to give them the opportunity, because a lot of people aren't great at the hello, and it
Right.
provides them an opportunity to give them a prompt to
To
respond to
respond.
you.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why
I'm
you
okay with
hate the
that.
two truths and a lie.
I don't
I'll
like
tell
that
you
one
right
in
now,
particular, but
70% of the people probably who match with me on the sites that I have that pick that one to say like, oh, Top Chef is, I say mine are, I did the Rutgers logo. I interviewed Kermit the Frog. They're right here. And I was a chef testing on Top Chef. And it's created a lot of good dialogue, especially the Kermit the Frog one. They're like, please tell me that's the truth. I'm like, yeah, of course that's the truth. Like, why would I make that up? Um, I mean,
because
it'd
you
be a
don't
cool
know,
thing
and
to
that's, I
make
guess
up, but
that's
it's
the
like a
point of
weird
it.
thing to make up for a dating site. But anyway,
Yeah.
um,
I guess that's the
but
point of that question, right?
it starts the conversation. And what that does is people who love the Muppets or people who maybe are from New Jersey and went to Rutgers, that's a talking point that we can get into. The Top Chef thing, I've actually matched with like chefs, and like, can you cook though? Like, why did you pick that as your life? So that helps.
Yeah.
But I do understand that it can be problematic, because if you put out there the prompt to the person, here's what I want you to come at me with, you get a lot of the same responses, a lot of boring responses.
Right.
If you put the information about yourself, great. But if you put that what I'm looking for, people do often tweak themselves into finding commonality with you and telling you, oh, I love Billy Joel, or I love, I have on mine. We talked about this on like, what was that episode, like 2 or 3, that I have. You'll be a good fit with me if you shop at Food and Stuff. You have Pop Funkos, and you know what it's bigger on the inside means. Do you remember
Right.
that? Yeah.
I remember that. I still don't know what that means, but yeah.
Well,
That's the Wizard show or whatever. Like
Doctor Who.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the Wizard show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doctor Who, the
I
TARDIS.
do
It's bigger
that.
on the
Yes.
inside, which again, I didn't even realize is kind of like a bad comment if you don't get it. I always thought it was like, it's like really like hilariously dirty if you don't know what it means. But then you brought up the point that like you're reassuring someone like, no, it's bigger on the inside.
Right.
I didn't
That's
think
why.
of it.
Well, clearly, Dan, no offense, like, not that I was looking at your profile or that I'm into that, but I would never match with you because like I don't really understand your humor. But that's okay. That's what you get. And I
I
think
have gotten people who match with me because of that, though. They're like, oh, wow. Like, how many Doctor Who fans are you finding on dating apps? Not many.
no, you should match with less people than you do actually. But in any case, I think I've come around on this. If you do this right, and again, we're talking a lot about the details of the profiles and spending some time with and everything. If you actually spend some time on this 2 truths and a lie thing that people use, I think if you do the lie as something that you haven't necessarily done, but is still of a big interest category for you. Like again, like you say Top Chef, and you like to cook and you're a good cook and all that. Like I think that then can spark some conversation. Although you weren't there, it's like, but you like the show and like you would. Like
I used to write
like,
about. I used to do episode recaps of the show, and I had people on my old radio show and that were on the show. You know what I mean? So I have like a connection to it that's important to me. Like that. My original lie was because I couldn't think of anything good. My original lie was like I'm a certified scuba instructor, and then I realized that's dumb because I thought it was funny because like I'm a terrible swimmer.
Right, but people who.
But if
like
somebody thinks that's the truth, I've just wasted their time and mine.
Yeah, and yours. Yeah, because you're not.
So I tried to pick something that was more in my wheelhouse that I could talk about, and that's why I changed it. This is months ago, but that's why I changed. I was also watching Top Chef at the time, so.
Right. Yeah. No. So I think that's the way to do it, and use that to engage and create additional conversation. If you do 2 good truths and 1 lie that's not like a blatant lie that just like is going to attract the wrong people to you. And that's, I think, why at the beginning I didn't really like this question so much, because it's like, why would you want to your point, why would you want to attract a bunch of people that are scuba divers? Because you would never do that. So I think that if you use that towards your advantage to create conversation, because I do think that it's hard at the beginning to start conversations with people that, I really can't stand the hi or what's up or how's your weekend?
Good morning.
How's your weekend? It's like,
by the way, I match with a lot of people. I got 3 good mornings today. Ladies, give me something.
I mean, come on. Like, that's just like, I'm sorry, but like when that happens, like I really get turned off. And just for people out there that do that, like just again, to the point, like if you're gonna buy, like the numbers are not working for you in this sense. So for all those people that are complaining that you don't get matches and all this other stuff, like when you do, on those chances that you actually match with somebody that is of interest, like don't stop there. Like put a little more effort into it to make sure that as you engage, like you might not say the perfect thing, but sometimes not saying the perfect thing is kind of funny or engaging, or if you're with somebody who's sarcastic or snarky, whatever it may be, they might play off of that. But for you to do nothing, like literally, if you say hi, good morning, or how was the weekend, like fuck you. Seriously, like that's just like ridiculous.
Oh my god. First of all, I don't believe that. I'm fine with somebody, especially on Bumble, where you just have to get the clock's ticking, and so you have look.
So say that. Say I'm matching right now because the clock is ticking, and I know that we're gonna tap out, and I just wanted to say hi, and I'll get back to you, and at least that starts the conversation. You don't just have to say hi or whatever.
I won't say fuck you, and I say that a lot, but in this particular case, I won't, because again, people get overwhelmed by this. You talk about the whole gamification, especially on Bumble, where the woman has to answer first, and there's a clock ticking as soon as you match with them. I think we tell people all the time, don't play the game the way that the apps want you to play. To me, a woman saying, hey, is her saying, I'm not playing this fucking game. I'm just saying hi because I have to. I want you to bring something to me. And I'm fine with that because I like to present myself in a way that, like as opposed to have to now answer a specific question instead of just like going at it the way that I want to. Either way, what I will say though, and I'm not saying fuck you, ladies. If you just say, hey, I'll write you back. I will write everyone back. But Scott, if 3 people say good morning, 2 of them have not differentiated themselves from the one who's the best one. Like, let's put it that way.
Correct. Yeah,
I'm looking at 3 people and I'm
point.
like, this person's amazing. This person's okay. And that person's also okay. Well, but if the okay are also okay had some amazing, comment
Writing,
to get my
right.
attention, fuck the other 2 because that.
Right.
So
that's
I
what
look
I'm
at
saying.
It, I know, but I don't just blanket fuck you. If you say, hey, like give them some benefit of the doubt.
So I'll probably get some crap about this, obviously now, because people will say that. I'll be like, Scott, like, maybe people are busy. You always say that. I don't mean it like that. Obviously, I'm just kind of like, so I realized like, okay, that's gonna whatever.
Right.
It's the meds. In any case, I just think that there's a clock ticking. There's a lot of stuff, and I understand that it could be sort of like a full-time job. But you know what? Like, put the effort in, and that's all I'm saying. Like, I understand how, like, everyone who's on Bumble really understands how it works, and the women are in control initially.
Sure.
And I just think that if you're going to be on it and you're going to be engaged, like, even if the clock is ticking, like, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with when I was on Bumble and people were saying like, hey, so great to match, I didn't want to time out, like, what's up, or
Sure.
how's it going, whatever it is. Like, all I'm saying is like, just add a few more words to your point. And that was the best example, and better than me just saying F you, was you have 3 good mornings. People don't think like this though. They don't think that you could possibly be matching with 3 different people. So they're saying good morning, thinking that they're the only one that's going to show up in your inbox, and you have 2 other people that are saying the same thing. And it's kind of like, well, you just didn't stand out.
All right, that's fair enough. But I will say, and somebody who listens to the show all the time, and we haven't done it yet, but we might go through her profile, on the show at some point. We have to figure out a way to, once you're done your surgery and stuff, we can schedule that so we can do that. But she actually reached out. I matched with her on Tinder this week because I thought it was funny. And she's like, "You're this bored?" I was like, "Whatever." Like, "Hello, how are you?" And so we were texting back and forth. And she asked me, like, I changed my profile around. She said, and this is what I'm not going to bring up any details other than she's like, can you look at my profile and see if you like how it's set up now? Because I keep getting people who just want to like hook up. She's like, I have 2,000 people. She's like, I have 2,000 likes right now, which made me wonder, how did she find me in like 2,000 likes? You know what I mean? Like if you're scrolling through, like, oh, I know that guy, but like so
there's a lot of garbage, but yeah, when you have 2,000.
I understand, but still 2,000 people is a lot of scrolling. So point being, a lot of times women go onto these sites, especially if they don't pay, and they have hundreds upon hundreds to maybe even thousands of potential matches. They have to know if they just say good morning to me that other people are also saying good morning to me. They can't
I don't think
know.
they do.
They can't have 75 likes and they think I'm only getting 1. Come on.
I honestly, I'd be curious, like reach out to us and tell us what you think. Like, I don't think people think that way. I think people think that they're getting a lot, and I don't think that they think what you're getting. I really don't. I actually don't think that way. Like, I get a ton of connections, and until you just said it like that, I didn't think about that I actually look at somebody's profile. No, I really didn't. That's actually really
and again,
interesting.
Just a point of fact to people out there who pay for Tinder or Hinge or whatever. And again, I hate the term game. I'm sick of hearing it. We need to come up with something. But I understand your point. No, I get it.
Yeah.
I understand your point. And what I will say is all of the profiles out there on Tinder or on Hinge with the roses now and all this bullshit. If I super like you, it's by accident. One, that's true, because Bumble, you scroll up, and Tinder, you scroll left and right. And if you go from one to the other and you scroll up on Tinder, it's like, damn it, I just super like somebody I just didn't want to, happens all the time. You can actually go back and rescind on Tinder your like and just get rid of that person, by the way, if people don't know that. If you pay, you can go back and be like, oops. They allow you to do that. Bumble does not. Funny. If you like someone on Bumble, you're fucking stuck with them.
Right. But it times out, so.
But I will say this. I pay for the service. That affords me the opportunity for 5 or 6 times a week to get my like to the top of your pile. I'm not desperate. I'm not throwing you the star or the check mark instead of the star, whatever the fuck they do. I'm not throwing you that because I'm desperate for you to like me. I'm
Right.
doing that because you have 2,000 people and I want to get to the top of that list because I don't feel like fucking waiting through 100 or 1,999 other idiots.
Right.
I care.
Interesting.
I think I'm the best one, and I want
Yeah.
you to know that. And if they're giving me that option, swallow your fucking pride. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't want to super like people. Get over yourself. They're giving you that opportunity. Take it.
Yeah. It's very interesting. I really did not think like that until you just said it, which is so weird. Like I think I should have been smarter. It's working fine for me, by the way, but yeah, I mean, it's working fine for me, but I think that that's an interesting perspective, that I know how much activity I get, but I really didn't think about the fact that the people that I'm reaching out to, I actually think that my profile is so well written and it really shows who I am, that they'd be interested, but maybe they're not. And maybe it does take time for people to, to look through and to wade through the hundreds of profiles you have or whatever it might be. And I honestly, Dan, I didn't think about that until you just said it, which is so strange.
I am amazed at, and until I talk to people about this and listen to how many profiles that they have to sift through and the junk. I say this all the time. This is my gamification thing, that men complain that online dating is difficult because they can't find women who will date them. Women find online dating difficult because they can't find men worth dating. And there's a huge disconnect there. Because there are really great women out there, and there are some good men. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's not easy to find the best, but nonetheless, that's the difference from the people I've talked about. Men just can't get the person they want. Women can't find the person they want.
Right. It's interesting. I don't know if it's the meds. I don't know. I honestly don't know if it's the meds.
I'm spitting some truths.
But yeah, you're being really insightful today, Dan.
I know. It's the no sleep. It's the no sleep. I'm like, it's
wow,
like a Da Vinci.
like you're making me really think.
Picasso. I'm like,
yeah,
it's coming out of my ears.
Yeah. All right. Well, you're gonna get a little bit crazy now, but you're making me think a lot, and I think that you're right. Like, look, I hope in your state and in my state that this was as insightful to everyone else as it was to me, Mike, because it really was, and I think that was really interesting, and I also think that again, look, through all of this, and this is why we
plug the ebook. We should plug the ebook, right? So we tell people, like, a lot of our insights that we've done all that. You said at the beginning of the show, we've done research, and a lot of this stuff you can download.
Yeah, I was gonna say it, but you can say it.
Oh no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
You always tell me that I'm like the sales guy, and you're like the.
Well, you didn't do it, so I thought like this would be a good opportunity to be like, by the way, all of these things and more.
I was just about to say that this is really insightful, and this is why, in a big way, this is why we're doing what we're doing. And to your point, which you said, what did you just say before? You said something about like suck up your pride, or I don't, let's say suck
get
it
over
up,
yourself.
like,
Yes.
Get over yourself. Get your pride. Like to me, I like help. I do. I'm a better person because I learn from others and I get lots of help in life, whether it's work or life or dealing with my children. Like, we all need help. And in this case, when it comes to dating and profiles, we actually have done a lot of work, and we've created a guide, a playbook, as we say on this, to help you. And so again, to your point, like, if you're in this world and like you think you need some help, or you're not sure, you're not getting the right matches, or you're just not sure what's going on, let us help you. Like, I needed the help, you needed the help, we're still helping each other. Like, suck up your pride. Don't think that you're perfect. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's profiles are perfect. And let us help you. You ask for help. Like, it's funny, I look at things in terms of like the kids, and like, I'll without thinking about it, I'll spend $100 an hour for a basketball coach to help Jack play better. I spent so much in baseball lessons. People do music lessons and all these other things. Like, you'll spend an inordinate amount of money.
I spent as much money as this thing costs for people to download on one drink on that night that I got friend zoned. Think about how expensive that cocktail is for a cocktail, not for like help on your life.
Yeah. Well, so that's the point. And so again, like, set your ego aside a little bit, and like spend a little bit of money to get the help that will make you better and happier. Like you're wasting money, to your point, on friend zoned or ghosted nights, and drinks and whatever it is. Like fix it. Like do something to fucking fix it. And to me, that's what we're here to do, amongst other things. Obviously, we're talking about this and whatever it is. But if you haven't been, go to the site. We'll put it on. I'm sure you're going to put on the bottom of this. Like
Well,
you do such a great
for the
job.
listeners only, the easiest way is divorcedplaybook.com/dating. We did it a little
Yes.
shortened, so go there.
Yes. So go there, check it out. It's really helpful. We've helped, a bunch of people, but we want to help a bunch more. And if you don't have, what is it now, Dan? $17?
Something like that. Yeah.
If you don't have it and you really want to do this, whatever, reach out to us, DM us, and I will send it to you.
Oh no, I already said I'd give them money back. Pay it, and if you didn't get anything out of it, I'll give you your money back. We already said this.
Right. Yes. Well, yeah, you said it. I think you were saying I would give them their money back.
No, I said I would. It'd come out of my, I don't care.
You would send them, you would.
But here's the thing. Just one more thing about this. And this goes back to we tried to use this comment as like a catalyst for the whole show. The one thing I'll say, and this, I talked to somebody yesterday about this too, Scott, that to your point about people trying to change themselves to match, don't just yes the person to death. Like, oh, I love that. Oh, you're so insightful. No one wants to hear that. No one wants to be yes to death. They want to learn about you too. So if you're trying to pretend like you like something to match with someone, you're getting found out. And that's actually one of the tips we have in this thing. If you're going to put pictures up, if you're going to put fishing, or if you're going to put being on a boat or a jet ski because you did it one time, you better know how to do that. And you better be into that, because someone will see that and want to match with you because of it. And then you're a fraud. If I put a picture of me skiing, I'm a fraud because I'm not going skiing with you.
I agree. I totally agree. I agree.
Don't try to show off to people to connect with them, because you get found out.
Right. So on that note, like, let us help. I like hope for the best this week. If you believe in God, then yeah. So put the prayers. Dan will put a thing out on social to let everyone know that I've made it. So you'll be responsible. Make sure you stay in touch with Mom, maybe. And I do need to run because Jack's got something important to do, and I gotta.
Please don't run.
Get him there. So I'm not running. Actually, I'll slowly walk my way out the door. But actually, I could probably run to this point now. It wouldn't matter since I'm getting the surgery on Wednesday. Okay. Yeah, that was fun. Very insightful. Kids first, buddy.
Good luck on your back, man.
Thank you.